In this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 different types of Spotify Facebook ad campaigns that you should be running to promote your music in different ways. And the reason why there's 3 and not just 1 is because each of these methods all have their own pluses and minuses. They all have their own advantages and disadvantages. And the first way that we're going to talk about is direct to song campaigns. And this is the type of campaign that you see me running most often on my channel. Now, in all of these campaigns, I'm still using a landing page and I'm tracking conversions and I'm sending people to Spotify, but the location of which is what matters. So I'm going to point out the plus and minus of each of these. So essentially, in this direct to song type of campaign, when people click the Spotify button on their landing page, they're getting sent directly to the specific song that they heard in the ad. And the reason why this is cool is because the biggest button on this page essentially is the like button. Like there's also download, which is also cool, and play. But typically your song's going to autoplay when you link to this if you link directly to the song link. And so it's going to autoplay. So all the streams are going to be concentrated on this one song, and you're going to get the most amount of saves and typically the most amount of playlist additions. And the reason why I care about this is because I typically care about these engagement metrics more than anything else. So if I go over to Spotify for artists, and we go to releases, and I'll go to this specific song, and we can look at these stats. Like Spotify specifically points out saves and playlist ads as being a valuable metric. They list them here, right? There's streams, listeners, saves, playlist ads, streams per listener. So they're important metrics, which is why I focus on them. So if you're running direct to song, you're getting the most amount of concentrated streams because you're sending them directly to the song. And you're also going to prioritize getting saves and playlist ads. The other big reason that I care about getting the most amount of saves and playlist ads is because they drive the most amount of recurring listeners. You might think that having more followers means more recurring listeners, but in reality, that's not true. Followers are great, and we're going to talk about those in a sec. But if we go down here to source of streams, right now for me, 50% of my streams in the past month have come from listeners' own playlists and library. This is from people that save and playlist my song in their own playlist, and they keep listening. This is why my campaigns have such long tails, like a year after I stop promoting the song. Even if a song doesn't get good algorithmic traction, this is kind of the gift that keeps on giving. And this is actually low for me. Like the reason why this is only 50% is because I just released a couple new songs recently, and so I'm getting more algorithmic traction than I normally do. And so this number is higher. Normally this is around 65%. And what that means is if I get kicked out of all algorithmic playlists, all editorial playlists, all other listeners' playlists, and everything, I still keep 65% of my monthly streams, which is like, I don't know, 70-something thousand streams. I still keep, even if I'm not promoting anything and I get kicked off of every playlist that I'm on. So that's why I care a lot about that. So saves, playlist ads, if you send people directly to your song, you're going to prioritize that and get the most out of it. So now let's talk about the second type of campaign that you can run. So basically the difference here is instead of sending people to a song, when people click on the Spotify button on your landing page, you're going to send them to your profile. So this is essentially like what I call a follower campaign or to profile campaign. And the plus about this one is that you're going to get the most amount of followers because that's essentially the biggest button on the page. Now, the downside of this is your streams aren't normally going to be as concentrated on a specific song you're promoting. Because, I mean, at least for me, when I hear about a band for the first time, I go to their profile, I just click the most popular song. Because I figured normally the most popular song is what I should probably start with and then just kind of listen down to this. So if you just came out with a new song, your new song's not going to show up in this list at all. And then you're like, for example, my most recent song, which was a cinematic remix of this song, it wasn't on this list at all originally, right? And it's still at number 10. So if I'm trying to promote this song and send them to my profile, they might never hear that song. They might go down here and see, this latest release, and then click this song, but they're probably not going to do that. So that's kind of the trade-off here. Less concentrated streams, more followers, but also less likes. Like if someone picks this song and plays it, like right now this song's playing, the follower button down here, or the save button down here is this tiny little thing. And on a phone, it's also like just at the bottom of the player. I think they might even have to open up the player to save it, but I don't know. So you're kind of trading off saves and playlist ads for more followers. And followers are good because every time you drop a song, you're going to get in release radar, and you might get recommended in other ways. But the trade-off is probably less algorithmic traction on the specific song you're trying to promote. So often what I do is when I have a new song, I'm focusing on the direct-to-song campaigns. And then in between releases, or even in the background at a small budget, I'll be sending people to my profile. So I'm promoting like my new song. This is what I spend the most amount of money on. But in between releases or in the background, I spend less money on growing my followers, because followers are nice, but recurring streams are even better. So now I'm going to show you the third type of campaign that you can be running after a message from this video's sponsor, Kyle the Ally. And you might remember Kyle. I had him on as a guest on this channel, I think a couple of years ago. He was an active member in my Spotify Growth Machine course community, and he was sharing all these data points and tests and spreadsheets he was making. But since then, he started helping out other artists run their Facebook ad campaigns, either artists that just don't want to do all this stuff or have just really struggled with it and want to have someone jump in and help them out. Kyle's not just like a faceless promo company. Like, everything is, as you can see, he's an ally. He's not a promo service. His name's in the thing. His face is on there, which I think is a big plus.
Hey everyone, my name is Kyle, and I want to help independent music artists like you to promote their music and get it out there in the world.
Kyle is an actual person I've talked to, and he does great work. I've seen the stuff that he does. And so the way that he does this, and there's going to be links in the description, but basically you click the contact me page, there'll be a link directly here, and you can fill in this form. Basically, you're just going to tell him about yourself, what you need help with. You'll hop in a free 30-minute consultation, and we'll pick a plan, or he'll pick a plan with you, and then he'll give you a quote, and then you can start to work from there. And on his website, there's a whole bunch of testimonials, and I'll put some screenshots on as well, kind of showing some stuff that he's done. But in general, he's a great guy, and I can vouch for his work. And so make sure to, when you message him, let him know that I sent you. And back to the video. So the third type of campaign that you can run is a direct-to-playlist campaign. So there's a few reasons why you might want to do this. So for example, one thing you can do is send people to a This Is Your Artist Name playlist. And that's why my This Is Andrew Southworth playlist has almost 1,000 likes. But one of the big benefits of this is that you're going to get a lot of streams per listener. Like, you might send people here to check out this new song you put out, but you might find you're getting like 8 streams or 10 streams or 15 streams per listener, because people just listen to one and they keep listening down. So you can kind of make a greatest hits playlist of your music and then send people to it. And not only will you get playlist followers on that, but you'll get a bunch of streams per listener. So why would you want playlist followers? Well, on one hand, it's going to show up in their list of playlists over here. I just have 1 billion over here, but most people don't have this much, right? People might have like 10, 20 playlists they follow. So if they're following your playlist, they might check it out periodically to see if you have new music out. But I think the real big benefit is getting multiple listens, because if people listen to a bunch of your songs, Spotify is going to start recommending your music to them in various ways across the platform. Now, kind of a secondary reason you might want to do this is you can actually grow your own playlist and even become your own sort of curator, on one hand, on platforms like Playlist Push or Submit Hub, but even just kind of in your own niche. Like, if you have a big playlist, like this playlist isn't that big, it's got 2,100 likes, but it kind of gives you like a little bit of bargaining power in a way. Like, if you find a band that you like, then you can say like, hey, I see you have this playlist. Could you add my song to it? And I'll add your song to my playlist that has 2,000 followers. And then that might give you like a leg up. Whereas if you're a small band or small artist, you might now have kind of a little bit of a bargaining chip to have people actually like check out your song and be willing to add it. Whereas before, they might not even listen. So even if you don't want to be a full-blown curator, there's still kind of an advantage to your own playlist. And, if your music's in it, then you're kind of just promoting your music as well. And this can also help Spotify figure out who you sound like. So the way that I recommend you use these 3 different types of campaigns is that when you have a new song come out, send people to that new song direct to the song. This is where I spend the most amount of my money. And then the other 2 campaigns you can either do in the background at a small budget, like $2 a day, $5 a day, or in between releases if you do like a month campaign to your song, and a couple weeks in between. Maybe you run those follower and playlist campaigns in between those main campaigns that you're running. Now, if you want to see how I set up the conversion campaign in general, and then all you have to do is tweak what link you're sending people to, you can check out this video right here. And if you want help with all this Facebook ad stuff, you want someone to do it for you, check out Kyle's website, Kyle the Ally's website, in the description below, and make sure you let him know that I sent you as well. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.